Hello YouTube, how's it going? RC McConley here again. Just wanted to go over some more comments from my follow-up video from my harassment video. It's getting a little off subject here. We've lost sight of what the original video was about, which was my police harassment video. I did a follow-up video and I'm getting really good reviews and things from this video as well, so I appreciate all your views, all the comments, but I want to discuss a few things today. I got a comment from a guy named G Money. He says I'm a racist redneck. That was what he commented on a post from my follow-up video, and I'm a little confused because what makes me racist? He's referring to the comment that I made in probably about 56 seconds into the video, where I am saying, if you are a colored person, does that make you a thug or a troublemaker? All I was going for on that was, people want to categorize me as a typical asshole biker. You're categorizing me, you're putting me in a lump sum with everybody else. So all I was saying is, well, that's not fair for you to do to me. Would you like me to do that to you? Do I categorize all colored people as, troublemakers or thugs, or do I categorize all Hispanics as illegal immigrants? That's what I was saying there. It has nothing to do with being racist. I am by far from racist. I'm not biased against any race, color, gender. Actually, my stepdaughter is mixed race. When I married my wife, she already had a daughter, and she is half black and half white. So there's no racism in there whatsoever. I associate with all nationalities, races, and everything. So I just want to clear that up. So G Money, for you to say that I'm racist, I mean, that comment in itself is pretty racist too. So you're no different than who you say I am. And I'm not going to get into the whole race thing because that can cause a whole nother thing and stir up a pot I don't even need to stir. But another couple things that I do want to go over, and that's some of the rules of the road, the laws, so to speak, that can be misinterpreted, and things that I come across daily. And the lane merging is one of the biggest issues I have. I probably experience this problem 4 times a month. When a lane merges, and that means your lane is ending, you're coming up to the merge, your lane is gone, it's disappearing. You are now supposed to get over, whether it's to the right or to the left, into the other traffic. We don't have to let you over. Just because your lane ends doesn't give you the right to just come over and push the traffic to your left or right out of your way. Just because you put a turn signal on doesn't mean I have to let you over. You treat a merge lane just like you would treat any type of lane changing situation. If you come up and you want to get out of the left lane because you want to get into the center lane because the guy's moving slowly, you put your turn signal on, you check your mirrors, and you get over when it's clear. You don't just get over because you want over. I know that's how people think they feel. They think that they're above and beyond everybody on the road, that, oh my God, I drive this, amazing SUV with blacked out, tint and have all this stuff, so you should let me over. Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works. When your lane ends and it becomes a merge, no, you're supposed to slow down and you're supposed to allow yourself the room to get over. The traffic to your left or right, it's not their responsibility to let you in. Now, is it a courteous thing? Yes, obviously. It's courteous to let the guy in front of you, his lane's ending, slow up a little bit and let him in. But the people that really aggravate me are the ones that live in the area and they know that that lane ends. Every day they drive the same route. It's not like, oh my God, what happened to the road? It just disappeared in front of me. No, you know a mile ahead that the lane is going to end, but they have to race up to try to get that extra car in because, those 3 cars behind them would make them late for work. That's the stuff that drives me nuts. And that rule applies to getting onto an interstate as well. If you are getting onto an interstate by using an on-ramp and it gives you an acceleration lane, that is so you can get your speed up to the interstate speed, because most interstates, at least the ones I've been on, minimum speed is 45 miles an hour. Maximum speed can be anywhere from 75 to 80 depending on your area. So coming up at 15, 20 miles an hour and just pushing yourself over into the right lane, you are going to cause an accident. You don't just come over. Just because your lane again ends and you're coming on and, oh, well, I have to get onto the interstate. I have to get on there. Well, we don't have to let you over. Again, it's a courtesy thing that the people in the right lane are supposed to merge over to the left if there's no traffic to allow the on-ramp to go smoothly so there is no accidents. But we do not have to let you over. If the left and right lane are both packed with cars and the car can't get over, well then he does not have to slow down, because if he does, he could cause a huge pile up behind him. So no, people, merge lane is your responsibility, not the person beside you. Slow down and get behind the person, or speed up and get in front of them if there is room. Do not wedge yourself in between traffic. That drives me nuts. And it causes road rage. And the same thing back to the interstate driving. Oh my God, people. I don't understand why this is so hard. Do you see the big white signs in the middle of the medians that say slow traffic, keep right? Does everybody understand what that means? To me, it's pretty basic, pretty simple. If you're not passing a car and you are slower than the car to your right, get the hell out of the fast lane. It is not there for you to poke around and go, well, I'm doing the speed limit. It doesn't matter. If you're not passing a car, you need to get out of that lane. That lane is for the cars that are traveling faster than the other traffic. It doesn't matter if they're speeding. It's not your job to keep them from speeding. That's what the police are for. And if the police think that they're speeding, they will pull them over. It's not your job to say, well, I'm doing 65 and the speed limit is 65, so they can kiss my butt. No, you are supposed to get over. That is the law. And it drives me nuts that you'll sit there and you'll drive in that left lane for no reason. You're not going anywhere. You'll ride in that lane for 8 miles. There's no reason, and you're not supposed to. So get out of the way. Another thing, the 3 and 4-way stops. When you come to an intersection and everybody has a stop sign, everybody's supposed to stop, obviously. Whether that takes place or not, that's a whole nother story. Again, that's for the cops. But the way it works is everybody takes a turn. And the person to your right, if he was there first, it's his turn to go. And then you go around in the circle until it comes back to you. If it's 3 cars piled up on one side and you're the 3rd car back, that just because you've been waiting there longer than everybody else doesn't mean you get to go when you come up to the sign. To the right, if the guy was there first, sitting there waiting, he goes. It doesn't matter how long you've been sitting there. These things happen all the time. It freaking drives me nuts. And, you know, it's simple, basic things. And it causes accidents. It causes insurance rates to go up because you people don't know how to drive. And, you know, it gets situations that you see all over the world on YouTube with road rage and stuff. Because it's simple, people. Simple stuff. You know, and this pertains to my state. You know, I get comments from people saying, well, that's not how they do it in Germany, and that's not the law in California, and that's not the law in Idaho, and, you know, I'm from Denmark. People, I don't live there. I live here in Florida. So I don't care how your laws are. Those laws don't apply to me. Again, you know, and back to one of the comments and the issues that were discussed about the whole white line thing, because that's what this argument came about to start this whole thing, was that whole white line thing. I was supposed to stay behind the white line. Blah, 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 blah. Again, people, that white line is when you are stopped at a stop sign or at an intersection. It's just to divide the intersection. It's for the red light. You're supposed to stay behind that when the light is red. My light was green. I had the right of way when traffic was clear. So I don't have to stay behind the white line. I saw the actual statute from the Florida State Trooper Handbook. I read the words. It's all technical and there's some big words here and there. But what it says is basically when it's clear and you are able to proceed through an intersection to do a U-turn, you can do so. It says nothing, absolutely nothing about being behind a white line, because you don't have to. Like I said, I didn't get ticketed. The cop even told me, he's like, well, this isn't a ticketable offense, but it's enough for me to stop and harass you, is basically what he was saying. And again, harassment. I get comments. I'm getting comments from people. That's not harassment. You need to look. You need to look up the definition of harassment. No, you need to look up the definition of harassment. Harassment is bothering somebody or trying to prove your point in an aggressive manner. Intimidation. That is exactly what he was doing. I never once showed an attitude first. I was simply sitting there waiting for traffic to clear. He pulled up and gave me an attitude. I did not give him attitude, and I'm sorry. Like I stated before, if you're going to give me attitude, I'm going to give it right back to you. I don't care who you are. Police, president, congressman, it doesn't matter. You don't have the right to talk to me that way just because you wear a uniform or you are some bigwig somewhere in the world. Okay? But again, I'm going to make that clear. You know, I appreciate all the comments. There are plenty of comments that are negative, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're going to call me racist because I made that comment, well then, the comment that you made, G Money, is just as racist. So, you know, so be it. And, you know, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the views. You guys are watching the videos, and, you know, that I'm just trying to maybe, you know, educate some people and, you know, show these people around here what it's like every day that we've got to go through as regular drivers and as motorcyclists. So, like, again, I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm not trying to start anything. But, you know, guys, let's be realistic here. Pay attention on the road. Pay attention. That's all it comes down to. Like I said, I appreciate the views. Subscribe below. I would appreciate that as well. And, you know, check for my next video. Talk to you later, guys.